Bummer, you can't make the screen smaller.
Hey everybody, my name is Brian, that is Shane, and this is, sorry I have something in my hair, the Popcast!
That was epic. That was epic, man.
Yeah, man.
I love the intro music.
Yeah.
I was like motivated. You know, I felt like I was on like Pirates of the Caribbean or something was happening, some craziness.
Yeah, in the words of Atheist for the Cause, music is epic.
Epic.
I spent way too much time on that stupid countdown. I'm going to tell you right now. Hey, listen, I am so happy that everyone's here today. It is going to be a fantastic show. We have so much to talk about. Before we get into that, let me just break down everything. First, yes, we are reviewing Strange New Worlds. We're reviewing the Orville. All those things are happening. We're also talking about Strange New Worlds adopting or introducing a non-binary character. Marina Sirtis, aka Deanna Troi, talking about how Picard Season 3 celebrates the cast, the TNG cast, much better than the movies did. And apparently J.J. Abrams was fired, which we called last week. We are talking about all that, but we are also going to be talking about the 100K challenge, the Battle Royale, our 100K celebration, and we're going to get more into that in just a moment. But first, Shane, how you doing, buddy?
You know what? I'm doing pretty darn good today. Despite being up very late last night trying to get you a script and audio for the upcoming video we're having this weekend. Yeah, it's been a good day. How about you?
Yeah, you guys don't know this, but this poor guy here is working on his house, and he's in a bind where he has to get it like done ASAP so he can sell it. It's a whole thing, and poor bastard.
There's guys outside right now, literally doing things, probably looking for me, and I'm just hiding. I'm doing a stream. I'm hiding. I don't want to deal with it anymore.
Yeah, just hiding in the office. Okay, yeah, I'm doing okay, man. I'm editing later on today with Gummy, which is gonna be fun. And I got to make a lot of new members assets, which is great. And I updated our stream stuff and just getting ready to go full tilt, bro. Because this train is moving, and even if we wanted to stop it, we couldn't. It's happening. It's
going without us.
It's going hard. Yeah. My computer is now sentient. It would just keep creating without me.
Oh, you've created control. What's going on? Yeah, no, I'm very excited. We got a lot of things coming up. Just to let everybody know, if you're not already like a member of our channel, let me tell you why you want to be a member. Besides these really great articles or stories that we're going to be talking about later that are going to go to the member section. What'd you say? It was Strange New Worlds introducing a non-binary character. Season 3 of Picard is cherishing the TNG cast, and J.J. Abrams was fired over at HBO. Besides those things, let me tell you guys what else is coming. We're going to be doing interviews with pretty much everyone from the Orville, all of the actors from the Orville, all kinds of different people, and we're going to be doing those live on our member streams. So every time we interview somebody, no matter what time of the day, night, whatever, we interview them, we're going to do it live with members. Members are going to be able to ask questions for everybody that we interview. And that's not just the Orville, but we're also trying to get into interviewing Strange New Worlds actors. And we got this whole thing going with these production companies to get more interviews for you guys. So that's one reason why you want to be in the member section. The other reason you want to be in the member section is we're getting ready to do this 100K Battle Royale giveaway.
Oh my God.
If you don't know anything about it, a long time ago, when we were only a 400 subscriber channel, 400.
Galaxy far away.
400. Yes, 400. And there are still some of you here with us from back then. We did these crazy things called Battle Royales. And to celebrate, milestones. And we said every time we doubled, we were going to do one. Well, 400 was the last time we did it. But what's cool is we took people who were members or people from the channel, and we actually put them on into this competition, or this tournament, basically. And
Tournament
each person
of champions.
Tournament, right? We put all these people in this tournament, and whoever won would end up getting prizes at the very end. And you would face off against other fans of the channel. You can see the names there of people, and to eventually get a winner. And this time we're going to be giving away. And listen, we're going to be doing the event. We think we're going to hit 100K subs before this, but we're going to do the event on July 8th, just because it's happening right around 4th of July, and we got some other stuff happening. So July 8th is when we're going to do this. And it's going to be a live stream on the Prime channel, which is where you can become a member. Members will get first chances to be in the bracket. This competition.
Explain that. So like we are gonna randomize the bracket for people that are in the chat, but the seed is gonna start with the members we have now on Prime.
Yes, members will get first chance to be in the bracket, and the people in the bracket are the people that are going to win. We're not sure how many people are going to be in the bracket yet. I think we've had up to 48. I think we can double that to 96. We can do quite a few, but we're going to be giving away probably about 40 or 50 prizes during this live event.
Yeah.
So it's going to be epic. We're going to be giving away some pretty cool stuff. We're going to be giving away, of course, lots of apparel. We're going to be giving away a bunch of neat toys and things that we have. We're going to be giving away
tchotchkes.
Yes, we're going to be giving away a premiere pass where you get to go out to dinner and you get to go to a movie that's coming up, and we've got a bunch of cool things coming. So you're going to want to be a part of that. So mark the calendar, July 8th, and we'll try to do that. Try to do it early, because I think that might be a fun long stream.
Yes, that's what's funny is we thought it was a cool idea. When I hit Shane up, I'm like, hey, listen, we haven't done our Battle Royale since 400 subscribers. We're about to hit 100K. How do you feel about doing a live stream Battle Royale? And he's like, that's a great idea. Then we both thought about it for a second. We're like, oh, that might wreck the channel though, because we don't do live streams on the other channel.
Right.
But we don't care. Yeah, we decided that doesn't matter. Here's the deal. We only get one chance to celebrate 100K, and we're going to take it even if that means videos for a while don't get any views, and that's okay, man.
Yeah. I mean, it's worth it. We need to say thank you to the people who got us to 100K, and that's you guys. And it's worthy of a big celebration, right?
Yeah. Then we have to figure out the technical part of it. Like, we have to, my computer's got to generate 427 battles or more.
It's by far the most difficult thing we've ever done. Like, even back when we did 400 subscribers, like everything that we tried to do, it was so difficult and complicated. It took both of us operating it during the stream, and it was almost like, man, that was really cool. But do we ever want to do that again? Yes, at 100,000 subscribers,
right.
We do.
Yeah, now we have slightly better equipment. We have better software. I think it'll be more manageable. So you know what? If it would be easier now. Let's make it harder and just make it 500 more, battles, and give away 85 items. Yeah, okay, let's do it. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be really fun. I'm gonna have to block out that whole Friday.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah. I noticed that you have a rant of the week coming up here, and I didn't get a chance to kind of bag on you a little bit before the show, so I'm just going to do it here a little bit. Yeah, if you get to do a rant of the week on, I think you're doing stupid, archaic movie aspect ratios.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So if you get to do that, can I do a rant on why computer wiring really frustrates me when I'm just hanging out at the house or something?
No.
Because I can't imagine that this is very exciting.
It is, because it's short, but there's a reason for it. I'm going to explain to you guys why there's a prop. And you know what? Let me just get into it.
Rant of the week.
Okay, here's the deal. Aspect ratios. If you guys don't know what that is, it's the shape of the screen. So when you're watching movies or TV, the shape. You ever watch a movie and you see black bars on the bottom and the top? That's because that was probably delivered to you in an aspect ratio that doesn't fit your TV. You see bars on the sides. It was delivered in an aspect ratio called 4:3. It doesn't fit your TV. Whatever, right? Here's the problem. There are so many aspect ratios, and they all stem. And come here. They all stem from a time when we had to worry about the movie theater, right? The movie theater was the most important thing. So you had to create your content to fit the movie theater. And so when it started to go to TVs, that theatrical aspect ratio, they just stuck with it. And here's the biggest problem. That's fine. If that's what they want to do, 60 years ago, they wanted to keep the aspect ratios, even though we're using TVs that are 16:9 and don't require black bars. Great. For those original content that was made for that aspect ratio, I'm okay with. But I'm watching Strange New Worlds last night, and for some reason, it is being delivered to me in a theatrical aspect ratio on a streaming service that 99% of people will be watching either on their computer, their tablet, or their phone, which share the same aspect ratio. So if everyone is watching this on devices that are 16:9, and then you realize they artificially put the black bars there to make it theatrical, so they're just removing content from the screen because of something 70 years ago. That's become the standard. And it drives me nuts. Watching the Snyder Cut in aspect ratio 4:3, that movie was a masterpiece. But why, Zach? Why did you think it was a good idea to literally restrict content from the viewer? I don't understand that. Why would you artificially restrict content? Oh, we shot it in IMAX, so we want to... Okay, make it fill the screen. For the love of God, it's not artistic to have artificial black bars on the right, left, top, or bottom. It just makes you look like a douchebag because we knew that the content was created last year and no one is restricted to the theatrical presentation any longer. So that's it.
I didn't even notice. So
when you watch it, you don't notice that there is a significant amount of space at the top and the bottom of your television.
No.
You really don't? Are you joking me?
I might notice a 4:3 aspect ratio because that's just not very typical anymore. But I don't notice the space at the top of the bottom. It's just, and I don't know, and in all fairness to you, this is definitely something that's bothered you since the moment you came out of the womb. So this is definitely a big deal. But I mean, look, we got so many different devices nowadays that are so many different shapes. I feel like I'm watching stuff weirdly all the time.
Yes.
So I've just come to accept whatever is in the box is what I'm.
We do have many devices, of which the vast majority of them use a 16:9 ratio.
So why do you think they filmed it? So why do you think they filmed it in? What did they film it in?
No, they didn't film it. They didn't film it in cinema film, right? They're because they're showing it to you in 1:8, right? They didn't film it in that 1851. They didn't film it in that. They filmed it in whatever, and they artificially cropped it to make it look theatrical.
Why?
Because that's what people do now. That's what they do.
I mean,
why did Zack Snyder artificially crop it to 4:3? Because he literally said he wanted to be artistic.
Yeah. So you think it's an artistic choice, or because that's not how networks work? What? Networks are in for the bang for the buck. There must be a reason why they're releasing it that way.
No, really, it's just to be theatrical, Shane. It's it. Like, there is no device that like natively fits cinema anymore unless you're in the cinema. So this was, and the crazy part, let's say you had a monitor that was cinema film. It would just give you black bars on the left, the right, and the top and bottom, because the actual file, the actual video is the black bars on the top and bottom.
Saying, so it used to be like, and forgive me if I'm wrong, and I don't want to go down a deep rabbit hole on this, but it used to be the reason why there was black on the top and bottom is so that you could see everything filmed on the sides.
That's
what's happening.
Yeah, because they shot it for movie theaters.
Right.
Right. And they delivered it from movie theaters to your home.
Okay.
Right. And so they wanted to give you the theatrical release, which they would have to give you the black bars in order for you to see the full theatrical release. This is not the case, man. This is literally just this is them being theatrical. Case in point, the Orville's not doing it. Like,
okay. Well, I guess we need to know. So Star Trek Strange New Worlds and all you folks over there, why are we getting the cinema aspect ratio? Brian is having conniption fit and we're having to do rant of the weeks over it. So please tell us what's going on. And I'm sorry that you had to suffer so greatly.
No, it's that I'm looking at this like I have like an 84-inch television and I'm only seeing 40% of the damn screen. It drives me nuts.
40%. Nah, it's not that bad.
Bro, you know, it's excessive. It is excessive how much. Okay. Salty Trekker just said they do it because it looks cinematic. Yes, it looks cinematic because their brains are hardwired to think that's the cinematic approach. Well, okay. That's an archaic thought. That in order to look professional, you have to restrict the vision of the viewer is dumb. Especially when 97% of all screens are using 16:9. Your phone, your tablet, your TV. I mean, TVs in your car use 16:9. For the love of God. Okay.
Thank you for that. I loved it. Look, he's still hurt about it.
I'm so annoyed right now.
He's like I'm so annoyed. If you want to ruin Brian's day, like just give him something in 720p. Just give him something in 720p to ruin his day. But you know what the benefit is, guys?
I can handle 720p. It's not that. No, you always exaggerate.
Let me tell you what's great about this. It means that you guys get the best possible quality because Brian will not rest until we have the best quality, and that's what makes our stuff better.
You know why we haven't made a sliders video yet, guys?
Because he won't let me.
I cannot find footage of Slider that doesn't look like it was shot from the back of the pickup truck with a camera from 1947. It's ridiculous.
I think it was shot with a camera from 1947.
The colors bleed. It's grainy. It's tiny. I've looked and I'm like, I won't, my brain won't allow me to create in this format.
And here's me going, look, come on, man, let's just do it. Come on,
bro. It's fine. No, it's fine. I don't even see a difference. Cares. And I know you're bull crapping me when you say you don't see a difference.
I don't, here's the point is maybe I see a difference. I just don't care.
Yeah.
So like what happens is I more care about the content than I do about the quality of what it looks like.
But that's part of the content is okay. All right.
Yeah. No, it's all about the story for me.
Yeah, I know.
But I get you. This is why we're perfect together.
All right. And we're gonna jump into the reviews, man.
And now let's do a review on something.
Yeah, we should start with Strange New Worlds so I can really have a good time with that.
Wait, you didn't have a good time?
Yeah, well, it was a good episode. There is some problems which someone in the chat said earlier, and we'll get to it. Okay. All right, y'all. If you guys do not know how this works, it is rather simple. There is counters to the left and the right. To the left. And if I like something, I'm going to give it an upvote. And if Shane likes something, he's going to give it an upvote. And if we don't like something, we're going to give it a downvote. And at the end of this episode, we are going to average those two numbers and come up with an official Popcast score.
And then we'll do the hokey pokey, turn ourselves around, and that's what it's all about.
And that's what it's all about. Okay, here we go. This is the Popcast. We are reviewing Strange New Worlds, episode 6. And it was a fun ride. There is some serious moral dilemmas here that we're going to get into. And should they have broken the prime directive? Should they have not? There's a lot of questions. And because that, I would like to see everyone here hit that comment section and let us know what you thought about Strange New Worlds. And Matt Kadish has something to say. Shane lives his life at 480p all the time.
That's right, baby.
Okay,
All the time.
here we go, folks. Strange New Worlds coming on
Be a
up.
lot quieter.
Lift us up where you cannot reach.
Yes. You want to give an overview of this?
What?
Give me your let's start off with either an up or a down vote. How did you like this episode overall before we go break
I thought
down?
that was the end.
That's the beginning.
I liked. Okay, I
Oh,
like.
you want to do it at the end? That's
now,
fine.
Well, now it gives away exactly what I think of the episode.
Okay,
at the very
you're right.
beginning.
You're right. You're right. All right, that's my bad.
There's no intrigue.
Okay. All right. So what is this episode about, Shane? Talk to me.
All right. So lift us up where you cannot reach, which is the title, which tends to, I guess, make more sense as it goes along. Although I still think it's kind of a muddy title. Basically, you've got Captain Pike. He is giving the log this week, the log entry. They're entering the Magellan system. Magellan system, a minor star cluster. Pike was there 10 years earlier as a lieutenant, and they're there on a routine survey when they come across a non-Federation shuttle under attack.
I was doing sound effects so we don't get copyright claimed.
Yeah, they find out that the vessel attacking the shuttle is trying to do something, right? And so they start firing rubber bands at the Enterprise in order to, I guess, make them angry. And yeah, I mean, listen, not every civilization is really smart. I mean, I guess oh, look, there's a giant bear. Let's hit it. Let's throw a stick at it. Let's hit it in the face with a stick. Or I don't know. So basically, Enterprise destroys it because Uhura, which, by the way, I want to give an upvote right away.
Okay.
Because Uhura doesn't know everything this time. Like, she walks into the security stuff. She's not a pro, right out the gates.
Right. That's true.
And I want to give them credit because everything that Uhura has done, she's been like this superstar at. Well, sadly, she ends up being a superstar at the end. But in the beginning, she has no clue what she's doing, and she even makes a mistake, and she ends up basically destroying the ship. I guess they run into their phasers, but that's the way she explained it. But it looked like a mistake on her part.
Right.
So yeah.
Okay. So what happens? The ship explodes, and they teleport TP. They teleport.
Crash land. Yeah.
All right, guys. Right. Yeah, we're right. They teleport a new member along the ship, and it is an old love interest. Right?
Yeah. She's like, Lieutenant Pike, is that you?
Uno was like, Lieutenant. Oh, interesting.
Well, I love it. This also got an upvote for me because I loved Pike acting like a schoolboy when he sees Allura of Majalis, right?
Right.
That's her name. He's like such like a schoolboy, like a giddy little, like, obviously it's just I love that it's part of his character. It's not always a strength. There are weaknesses. He can't even remember Una's name. Like, he's trying to like introduce her and stuff. He's like so caught off guard. He obviously really liked this
number one, or as I like to say, Una.
So that I thought I really liked that. I got an upvote.
Okay, you want to give another upvote for that? I'm not giving that an upvote.
I loved it. I like any time that you give me more of a character and I like it, you're going to get an upvote.
Okay, that's fair. I did like this character, and I'm going to give this character an upvote. I like how the aliens are.
Did you just sidestep my upvote so that you could give an upvote in another way?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, cool.
Because the character's cool, man. These characters are, at first I thought they were going to be like the typical throwaway characters. They're like Ambassador Nalax from the planet of Pujar. It's like, Captain, and then you never see him again,
Right.
No, there was actual character here, and we're going to get to it, but the dilemma that they face it's an actual moral dilemma. And interesting enough, a lot of the, remember Voyager, remember Tuvix? Everyone remembers Tuvix, right?
Yes.
Should they have killed Tuvix to save Neelix and Tuvok? Well,
I still think they should have, yeah.
I mean, mathematically, yes, it's 2 for 1, right? That's mathematics.
Well, yeah, mine is that Neelix and Tuvok were there before. So they deserve to still be there.
Okay. But people are saying, why couldn't you save Tuvix? Why couldn't you use the pattern buffer? Those all kinds of like armchair quarterbacks, right? Trying to figure it out.
It was a good dilemma.
That was a good dilemma. And just like that dilemma, we have another really good dilemma. And while they try to break the Prime Directive, they are not able to, which is very interesting. We're going to get to that. So that's all that to say. I like these aliens. I like this character.
Well, I got another upvote here real quick.
Okay.
So I upvoted, I love when Pike, and I know we're a little past this, but I love when Pike explains Federation law and his conscience.
Yeah.
So when he warns that ship and he's like, hey, Federation law, you got, I'm invited to stop and do this, and also my conscience. So it's like he was laying down the law, but he's also shooting from the hip, but he's basically saying, and by the way, I don't like what you're doing. So yeah, we're going to do something about this.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, Sam Kirk was in this episode. You're right, Chris.
Yes, we'll be talking about that.
Yeah. We get some more stuff. Interesting. I guess he's forgetting what passage he's reading to his daughter, so he keeps reading the same thing, and so she's not remembering time the same way. So she's literally remembering that passage from seconds ago. I found that interesting. That's cool.
I thought that was cool. This also got an upvote for me. I got more depth on M'Benga's character. You could see the pain of him, as his daughter is transported like in mid-sentence. Like I can only imagine being a parent and having to do that with my children.
Right.
It must be difficult for him, even though I know he's saving her life. It must be hard for him to put her through this.
Right. I agree. Okay. All right. Skipping past this point. All right. So they had to deal with them because they attacked the ship. And this is when the politics of their world gets shady to me. I knew there was something up, by the way. And maybe it's because I've watched a lot of Star Trek. I don't know. But clearly she's hiding something, even though she's trying to be nice.
Yeah, well, she's basically saying, look, we don't want you involved. And they're saying, well, we have to investigate it because protocols require it. And then she's like, yeah, well, I'm coming, whether you like it or not.
Right.
And it did seem like she was up to something. Like this whole episode, it seems like she's up to something.
Right.
But that doesn't really pay off.
Right. I think she was trying to hide, the fact that they're going to murder the kid.
I don't know if she was. We can talk about that later. It sure the heck doesn't seem like it.
All right. So this is when we find out that kid is pretty much genetically perfect, has all kinds of cybernetic connections and all that, right? And his father / doctor, M'Benga's ears pick up when he's like, oh, you have a way of dealing with this protein malfunction or whatever it was. I'm assuming that's because that with that kind of tech, he'll help his daughter, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty incredible. I mean, the fact that they have no disease, that their technology allows them to basically have zero disease, can cure almost anything. And that's pretty amazing. And that comes into the moral dilemma that we get to at the end. But of course, M'Benga is like, he's drooling over this, although he holds himself back because he can't say anything about his daughter.
Right.
And this kid here is just ridiculous, right? Like the kid is extraordinarily intelligent.
He's very smart.
And what I find interesting is that to be the minor, or no, sorry, not to be the minor, to be the first servant, the child that's chosen to be the first servant, they're chosen at birth by a lottery. And this child ends up becoming a holy figure. Basically, it embodies the science, service, and sacrifice of this civilization,
right? As
we'll soon learn. But this child seems like abnormally even more brilliant than your average kid. So,
yeah, Chris Redsleff just said child torture theme of the week. I mean, yeah, on Obi-Wan too.
Oh,
seemingly what's going on.
That is true. That is true.
Torturing kids. All right, so now they go to the crash ship. You can
tell the dad. Sorry, you could tell the dad was something was off right away of the boy.
Yeah, can I actually downvote this?
Sure.
I feel like it was a vehicle just to sort of show more of Uhura's character growth, and there was really no reason to go down to that ship. It's totally unnecessary. It didn't further the story at all. It didn't add anything to the story.
Well, I mean, I thought it did because they found the medallion, which was critical to being able to find out who was behind what was going on, and they found the neural device that's supposed to keep the kid's brain from being active, so people can find him.
Okay.
So, I mean, they found a couple of important things that forwarded the story, but I agree we didn't need, more teaching Uhura, I guess. It's an opportunity. I understand your downvote. I mean, it's kind of an opportunity to feature other characters that aren't really in the episode.
Right.
But that's what I got from it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just I'm really on edge when it comes to these streaming shows that seemingly have no limit to how much time they can spend or not spend on something. And so when we get like a short episode or something and there's a bunch of things wasted, I'm like, it's stressing me out now.
Well, I got to tell you this, at least Strange New Worlds gives you 48 minutes, whereas Obi-Wan Kenobi gave us 30. So give me a freaking break.
True that.
Give me a freaking break, Disney. 30 minutes? Give me a break.
It's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Dumb. I'm giving Obi-Wan Kenobi a downvote from here, not even on this show.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
In the words of Norm Macdonald, the disrespect. Ridiculous. All right. Yeah, more of this.
Did they show the city?
Oh, here's the city. Yeah, let's get past it. City's sick.
Okay. Upvote.
Yeah.
Upvote. This reminds me of Cloud City of Stratos from the TOS series. I know it's not that city, but it definitely, I mean, these things are floating in the clouds.
Yeah, it's rad.
That's pretty darn cool.
So my question is, what happened to the ground?
Well, she does talk about later that down below is full of volcanic activity, and essentially, if what happens doesn't continue to happen, then the civilization as they know it would not, I guess, float in the clouds. So,
yeah, I wonder if this is a good permanent solution for fixing your planet, though.
Well, I mean, we can have that. Let's not have that discussion yet. Let's have it when we get there.
Okay. All right. All right. We're just going to skip it along here to the good stuff. All right. Yeah. So again, another foreshadowing.
Oh, can we go back?
Go ahead.
Can we go back? See right there. I got to give it up to Star Trek here. I want to give it a Star. Now, listen, we spend a lot of time bashing on Star Trek.
Sure.
Okay. A lot of time doing it. We always tell the truth. Do you know how brave it was to make that black woman the servant to this woman right here
in 2022?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. That's an upvote. Not that she's a servant, but that wasn't even considered as an issue in 2022.
Right. Upvote me. And here's the thing: is they're blind to it. It doesn't matter. That woman can be a servant as equally as in a white character, or it doesn't matter what it is. And I love that they didn't like run away from that.
Right. I agree. 100%. That's good. All right. Now, so I want to talk about this real quick. They did a very good job foreshadowing his father/doctor.
Yeah.
And how he wasn't really he wasn't comfortable with what was going on.
Agreed.
Without actually saying it, which I thought was good, because I always thought there's something off. And then when you figure out what it is, you're like, okay, that makes sense.
I'm not sure why he was so nervous about the Enterprise, though. It's like maybe he was just nervous about the whole thing going on, but it would feel like he would almost want to embrace them for their help and support for what he's about to go through.
Maybe he didn't know that they would help him. Maybe he thought, oh man, I should be on the other planet right now. I shouldn't be here.
Yeah, maybe he sees like, oh my gosh, they're friends. Like the woman in charge is like, digging the captain of this vessel. I gotta be cool. Yeah, okay.
Right. Okay, skipping forward. Tell me if you want me to stop. Tell me.
Okay.
All right. Now this was a good scene. She checks on the medallions. I don't understand the medallions. I don't understand the purpose of them, but I guess.
Well, it's called the medallions are actually important because it's actually called an oath stone. And so when they have this medallion, it's their oath to protect the first servant child. Like they're sworn to it, and that coin proves it. What I didn't understand is why this person. So they found a coin on the crashed ship, right?
Right.
On the destroyed ship. So why did this guy still have a coin? That was kind of the only confusing thing.
Yeah, and she saw something wrong with it, but we didn't see anything wrong with it.
I didn't notice what was wrong with it to me. So actually, that would be a downvote for me.
Yeah, what they should have done was they should have shown an empty one. She goes, "Oh, I lost it," or whatever. Another excuse, not like
it would have been cool if he didn't have it. Yeah, and then she was like, "No, that's not going to work because I have it right here." Boom,
boom.
You know, that would have been cool.
Your ass is grass.
I would have given her an upvote if she would have said those words.
Yeah, your ass is grass, Private.
You notice how he like disintegrates the guy on the end, the guard on the end. Like there's like no coming back from that.
All right, yeah.
You know, the rest of the fight they just kind of beat each other up, but he like disintegrated that first dude.
Yeah, so all science fiction has to stop with the ability to disintegrate people with weapons. I'm getting tired of it. Because it brings up too many questions. Like, okay, so same with Stargate. You know, Zach 3 times deletes the body, you know, and let me spend the rest of the fight fighting you with my hands. Like,
why didn't he just? Yeah, I was going to say, why didn't he just disintegrate everybody?
That's the problem with the disintegration. You know, with the phaser disintegration. Yeah. A lot of science fiction does this. It just shouldn't be an option. And I know. I think they probably started it because it was easier to disintegrate someone than like show the effects of them being hurt or whatever back in the day.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. Like or not cool. It was like kind of like, oh, this is like real. This is like there's stakes at risk here. But then if the person isn't trying to like, maybe the thing can only disintegrate one person and it has to recharge enough to disintegrate others. I'll give it that.
All right. Well, the phasers don't do that. I do like this. I'm giving this an upvote because Pike was like, this is not set to stun.
Yeah.
That was good. That was
really I love good. Pike, man. Everything about the guy.
Yeah, no, he's great. Pike is fantastic. It's not on stun. All right. It's cool.
It's not on stun.
It's not on stun. And I do sort of like this. I'm not going to get an upvote, but I like that she was able to handle her own with this guy. So she's a contender.
She shows why she's in charge.
Right. She's in charge. She's more than just. She wasn't just placed there. She has some fortitude.
She's more than just a politician.
All right, we're at the Sam Kirk. We're talking about Sam Kirk. Let's do it,
dude. Upvote. I need more Lieutenant Kirk, dude. Like that was just seeing him come in. Now we've figured out that Lieutenant Kirk is a goofball.
He's a
like
goofball.
He's not. He's the least Kirk of the Kirk bunch. You know, he's more like, who's a goofball character on other shows?
Oh, well, like McCoy and SG-1 before Atlantis was sort of a goofball.
Yeah, so this is the goofball character. We don't have enough of him. He's dismissed quickly. Like it's kind of like people don't really respect him very much.
I almost want to downvote because I feel like they made the mistake of not making it like an ongoing joke to almost kill Samuel Kirk.
I mean, I wish they had, but they just didn't think about it.
Not every episode, but every other episode, like have him get hurt. Okay.
It'd been cool. Yeah. Or burn him or something like Lon does here. She like burns him, right? He's like, yeah, I'm out of here.
Right. Yeah. So, Uhura's struggling, you know me, I don't really like the interpersonal. I understand they're important, but like,
I don't like the interpersonal.
I just don't I just don't care very much about the side stories, the B stories. You know what I mean?
I mean, the B, right. Maybe you don't care about them now, but later on when something really important happens, you'll be glad that you understand the characters better.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And we're back in the doctor's office.
He's not giving it up.
Yeah, he's not giving up the juju. And then he overhears him. The kid overhears him.
Yeah, this kid's like ridiculous. Like smartest kid I've ever seen in a show.
Yeah, there's got to be a better way. Okay, we'll get to it.
Like, why is this kid the one? You know what I mean? Like, are all the kids from this planet this smart?
I think
they don't need.
He was like genetically altered, right?
Well, he had. I didn't. I'll be honest. I didn't really understand it. He had something inside of him that allowed him I didn't quite get it.
And he was like,
But allowed him to
perfect or
heal
whatever.
really fast.
I don't know. Yeah.
Maybe that made him more intelligent.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, so Pike actually explains to this chick that he's gonna die in some way.
Yes, which is again, allowing us with that season-long story arc of dealing with Pike's ultimate issue.
Yeah, and just when you think maybe they're gonna write his death out with the introduction of this new character,
Mm-hmm.
then they completely lose context for obvious reasons. And okay,
Yeah.
then. At least he gets some. You go, boy. Get it, Pike. Get it.
All right, I'm uncomfortable.
We need one of those inserts with the get it. Get it. I don't have
With the
one.
get it?
As white dudes, if you have a problem with that.
No, that's not it.
Well, that was interesting.
Okay. Yeah. So this whole explanation. How do you feel about them sort of referencing his death constantly?
I like it. I mean, that's our story arc.
But that's.
I mean, remember,
That's the
we gotta
story
have
arc.
some...
The story arc is something we already know is going to happen.
No, we don't know. The whole story arc is whether or not it can be changed.
Well, no. If they Shane, if they change it,
Yeah.
there
Then our theory is right.
there are nerds that.
No,
I know our theory is right. We're
the secret
happy.
reboot is correct.
Yes, but there are nerds that are going to literally lose their minds if he avoids death. Oh my God, bro! And then
Well,
you know
he
what?
doesn't-
If he
doesn't
avoids
die,
death
though.
and they come
No,
out
no,
and go,
no.
guys, you guys
No,
don't get it.
no.
It was rebooted in Enterprise because of First Contact.
He doesn't die though. No, it's not that. He doesn't die. He becomes disformed and disabled.
Whenever he avoids his fate, because you're saying
Right.
that what if he can avoid his fate? If because is that the story arc? Because like that's the story arc. That's not.
That's what he's. No, that's what he's contemplating. The contemplation of whether or not things can be changed.
I don't understand.
What he has to deal with.
I don't understand. You said that's the underlying story arc, but there's no
Yes.
story there. It's gonna
There is
end
a
that
story
way.
there.
What's the
Oh, you
story?
looked at the kids. He can contact the kids now. There's things he can do. He's seen his future. He could change it.
No,
He could.
no, you can't change it. It's canon.
I'm not saying you can't. I'm saying he could. Or he could maybe find a way to deal with it better. I don't know.
It's a bad story arc if the audience knows he can do nothing about it, and the whole entire underlying story arc is his dealing with that. That's what you're saying?
Hey, well, I mean, that's all you have in a prequel. All you have is the characters dealing with this knowledge. So it's like the same thing with the Kenobi that we're talking about. Ben Kenobi is dealing with what happened to him. Well, guess what? Pike is dealing with what happened to him.
Yeah. It's
And
boring.
when we get to the end of this season, then maybe we'll see him trying to do something or not. Maybe at the end he embraces it, but we don't really know at this point. We know what the outcome is, but we don't know how he deals with the knowledge of that outcome because we didn't even know he knew about it until Discovery season 2 just decided to do that.
Yeah, here's the problem with that, Shane. That's a bad story arc. Just like
I mean, you
randomly
didn't
showing
have to
him
have
dealing with it is a bad story arc.
Why is it a bad story arc?
Because
we
there's-
don't even need one.
What are you talking about? You
don't
just
need a
you
story
said
arc.
it was a story arc. You said it's
It
underlying story
is. It is a story arc, but I don't need one for this show.
arc. Okay. All right. Here we
So
go.
it doesn't matter if it's good or bad. It's just there. Like I don't need a big bad at the end of this episode.
So if it's not necessary, then why are they constantly bringing it up literally every episode?
Because it's something that his character is going through.
I know, but it's
For the
every
same reason
episode.
that Mbenga's daughter is trying to figure this out, or all the other people who have issues. You
Mhm.
could say that all Mbenga's daughter is a story arc. You could say that.
Yeah, but we don't know what
La'an's
happens to
situation-
his daughter, so it makes sense that that's a small story arc.
Dude, don't blame Strange New Worlds. Blame Discovery season 2, the idiots. Blame those guys. Don't blame what's going on here.
I mean,
You know
no,
what I'm
let's say Discovery didn't exist. We would still, we would still be dealing with it as fans. I guess he wouldn't be.
No,
dealing with it.
because right, he wouldn't know his future. He knows his future because he saw it in Discovery season 2, which is
So,
weird.
just so you guys know, further proof that the secret reboot is obviously correct.
If it changes, because this would be part of the secret reboot.
So now I hope that we hear in the distance as nerd heads start to explode when he avoids his fate. Because then I will be able to go online and say, further proof, the secret
that it exists. Yeah. And special shout out to Salty Trekker for that's actually his theory. And we just kind of went in and adapted it and added things and changed it around.
That's great. It's a good theory. Okay. So LNS says, Ahura, you should present your work because you did good. Okay. We're going to pass that.
So that's, and that's where I'm like, man, Uhura again. Like, Uhura figured it out once again. She saved the day. And now I gave it a upvote earlier. I guess I give it a downvote now.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I like Uhura, but please let someone else save the day. Please.
Because those first couple episodes, now anytime she does something good, you're like, come on, Ahura.
I mean, it's just becoming, look, we get it. She's awesome. Like, she's amazing. All right. Can we see Hemmer do something? Another episode he wasn't in.
Where is Hemmer?
Downvote, no Hemmer.
Yeah, I'm downvoting that too. Where is Hemmer, dude?
No Hemmer. Come on. 2 episodes, guys. What's up? We need the blind Enar.
Yeah, it's getting excessive with no Hemmer thing. It's bothering me. All right, so I do want to upvote this though. I think the kid interacting with, so he took his daughter out of the transporter, and he's like creating like inert gases, which is sort of cool. I don't know. It just shows this kid is clearly a prodigy. He's which makes and I like this because it makes what happens to him so much worse because you now feel a connection to the kid.
Oh, and the value of him is so much greater.
Right. Yeah. Unlike Obi-Wan, where that random guy just dies and everyone's sad, and you're like, why? Why is everyone sad?
Did Gary just get killed?
If you guys haven't seen our Obi-Wan review, after the stream, go check it out. I think there was maybe 1 upvote, 2 upvotes top the whole entire time. It was just downvote. I don't think we've wrecked the show as bad as we wrecked that episode.
No, we were doing good, but yeah.
It was doing fine. It was okay. And then it was like, oh God, that's the worst. All right. Skip past this point.
Then he lies to his dad. It's nice. Keeps him being a secret.
Yep. Blah, blah, blah.
More likely you were showing off. What's up with his dad, dude? His dad seems jealous of the kid, to be honest with you. I know he's like explains it later, but to me, he seems almost like jealous that he's got all this going on, or not jealous, but like he's disapproving.
I think he's upset that he's going to lose his kid. Yes, that's what's going on. And he's like,
I guess,
yeah,
maybe love the kid a little bit or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess. Why aren't you loving on your kid before you lose him?
Right. Maybe he's mad because the kid chose it. Did he have a choice?
I don't think he did. No,
because they say he freely chooses, but
he chooses.
Get over there, kid. Choose right.
Yeah. Apparently there's another planet, and I guess they have the same language, and it's desolate. Blah 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 blah.
Well, that explains it.
Well, you guys want to go watch the episode? You want like a play-by-play? I'm trying.
Not everybody can watch the episode, Mr. Ryan, because half of the people watching this are from another country.
Oh, is that true?
Where they don't have Star Trek.
You want to explain what happens here?
Well, we find out that basically they learn that the people from this world that this is happening to are the people that attack. Like they've started their own sect or their own separate thing going on, and they are the ones actually trying to steal the kid.
Right. So people from their world now living on another world are trying to steal the kid for what at this point it seems to be a nefarious purpose.
Yeah, and they keep shooting rubber bands at the Enterprise for absolutely no purpose, so they can potentially get destroyed somehow.
Rubber bands.
I don't know, like socks, throwing socks at them.
All right, so now they're about to be teleported.
This is great. What's about to happen is great.
Oh.
Kyle's like, I don't know, Captain.
It wasn't me, Captain. It wasn't me. No, I don't.
What just happened? I don't know. That was great.
And then Pops comes back and he's like, what? What?
Where's my kid?
So I guess he was planning on that though, right? Like he was planning
Well,
on.
we don't know that yet, but yes.
Right.
We're about to find that out. What I really love is what happens next, right? They tractor beam the ship.
Uh-huh.
They tractor beam it. Right. Tractor beam it. And then they destroy it.
Oh, yeah, because they're going to go to warp with a tractor beam on them.
Yeah, because they don't care. They know it's going to destroy them. And they're like, why are they trying to go to warp when we're holding on to them? They know they're going to be destroyed. Boom, they're destroyed, right? And it's like, and then right now, this is the scene. Pike is up there and he's like, yeah, I'm really sorry. Let us know how we can help you guys. Oh, you just destroyed him. And of course they think the kid's on board, right? And I love Pike's response is just like, yeah, things happen sometimes. It was
right. Yeah. We're going to all die. Right. She didn't understand. Like, we're going to follow this guy. He's like, can you explain more about how that works?
And it's so like, it's so Federation like to say, let us know how we can like guide you through this. She's like, I don't need your guidance.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. KB Games says she was translating a freaking language that is literally her job. Talking about Uhura. How you download Uhura.
Yeah. Well,
yeah. So Shane has an axe to grind with Uhura right now.
Well, I'm not downvoting her because she did her job. I'm downvoting her because she's the hero every episode. And every time they make her the hero, look, I figure if you got a 10 episode season, you can be the hero like 3 times. Okay, that's fair. But when you've been the hero 4 out of 5 episodes, yeah, I'm sorry, that's too many.
Well, especially when
Unless
we aren't seeing Hammer. Where is Hammer?
That got a separate downvote, but yeah.
It's driving me nuts that there's no Hammer right now.
Yep.
And I have seen, and honestly, I have no problem with LNS, but I have seen so much of this character that I need other characters, please. Like we need Hammer. We need Hammer.
We need more Hammer.
At this point, I wouldn't even mind some more Chief Kyle. Just like, come on.
Well, we don't need a lot of Hammer. We just need something every episode that he needs to do. Just like Scotty, there was something every episode that Scotty needed to do.
That's true. Beeping. Okay, and they find out that the kid was transported. I like this. So he wasn't transported to the ship that got exploded. What's wrong with my English? That exploded. He transported himself into this container or something.
No, he didn't transport himself. His dad transported him into the container. Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, I didn't fully understand how it happened, but I guess it was his dad.
So his dad basically took the medical scanner and scanned his, I guess apparently if you scan the person ahead of time, then you can control where they get beamed to.
Oh, and they, the reason they were able to beam is because they didn't beam off the ship.
Right. Well, I don't know if that's the reason why. Their shields were down, so somebody could have beamed them out, no problem. But they were actually able to control the beam, I guess, because they had his. It is something I don't understand, but that's the way they explained it.
All right. So they take the kid back to his Cloud City planet, and he's happy. Oh, I can't wait to die. It's gonna be great.
Oh. So real quick, did we already do the part where Uhura saves the day? Yes, we did. I need to downvote La'an explaining lesson 7 to the dad who has no idea what she's talking about, nor does he need to know during this kind of intense moment where they're basically accusing them of doing something terrible.
You had so many opportunities to do this when we were sitting on this image for like 5 minutes. Okay, you're right.
Well, I mean, we talked about something else. So I thought it was dumb that she's like talking about her inner training while they're talking to this guy. So that was a downvote for me.
Yeah. KB Games and said Hammer's going to be the focus of a whole episode based on the trailers. Right. But how many episodes are left? 4, right?
Yeah. Well, he's not, I don't think it's not 7.
And it's not next episode.
Yeah. It's not next episode. So 8, 9, he's got 3. There's 3 left. So hopefully he gets to be one of them.
Yeah. Who was the focus of this episode?
Pike.
Makes sense. Okay. All right,
or Uhura. She's the focus of every episode.
that's not true.
Look at that. KB Games is gonna get mad at me. He's like I love Uhura. Shane, stop.
I love her too.
I'm sorry. I like Uhura too.
Yeah, you're right though. We need more variation.
I do like the way she came in, like after at the beginning when she comes on the bridge, and La'an's like, "Did you enjoy your break?" And Uhura's like, "Oh yeah, actually I did." And I'm like, "Oh okay, that was pretty smooth." Yeah, she didn't cow down, you know.
Salty Trekker says, "Okay, so you guys are dicks."
What? A pot calling the kettle black, brother. I've
Right.
seen your reviews, man.
Her and Chapel show. Yeah, we haven't got a whole lot of Chapel either, though.
A little bit. She got her device taken from her because the dad wouldn't let her scan the boy.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess he gets This is
He
when
gets thrown in the brig.
This is when he's gonna take Sanctuary on the Enterprise.
Yeah, but he's thrown in the brig, and we still don't know at this point. We're still like trying to figure out what the heck's going on.
Pike
They
asked
can't
her
commu-
on the planet. Pike says, "You still haven't explained how one child, this child is going to keep your city floating or whatever."
Right, and then they can't communicate with Pike, so that's a little bit alarming because they got some sort of dampening field,
Right.
so
Here
there
we
can't
go.
be any outside influence.
Here comes the child torture.
I mean, we don't know if he's.
I'm going to
in pain.
upvote this actually because this whole set looks awesome. Like with the cables and all that. That's cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Is that like the underbelly of the city or something?
It seems like it, or they're down inside. You know, they must still be in the clouds. But when we get to the scene, I guess we can describe it now, right? So basically,
Yeah.
They roll out this stretcher, and on this stretcher is basically the last kid who was plugged into this machine, and it's dead, and it looks like some weird alien creature that's burned out.
Yeah. My question, I'm looking for that image. Why you?
It's coming up right there.
Yeah. What? I don't understand. Why do you leave the dead kid in the machine?
Well, no, I mean, it must have recently, because obviously they got to pick another one. So maybe what I want to know is why you need to show it off. That's not cool, man.
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh yeah, let him see. Let him come on over and see." I'm like, "How did you think that was going to go, lady? Like, did you think Pike was going to be like cool with this whole thing?"
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good question. And plus, shouldn't the kid that's about to sacrifice his life not have further distress seeing what's going to happen to him? Or maybe
Like he's got to like see it, right? Yeah, like they bring it over to him, like, check out what you're going to look like eventually. But I got to say, this gets an upvote for me because using kids to power your society is so wicked, and it's such a wonderful
I got upvote too.
It's a wonderful homage to Serve Man. It's a cookbook moment from Twilight Zone.
Oh yeah.
Because you got this whole thing, you're leading up to the society, and this kid is going, he's like going to be the king or whatever the heck's going on.
No disease.
And all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, we're going to suck his juices dry.
Cloud
And it's like,
yeah.
It's a cookbook,
Yeah, it's like a perfect society, but it's powered by children. So that's horrible.
but here's the interesting thing about it. Like, and I do give another upvote for the moral dilemma. So I got another upvote coming. The moral dilemma here is that, and listen, if you take off your parent hat or your reasonable hat, can you give me an upvote?
Oh yeah.
If you take off your reasonable hat or all this stuff, and you just think for a second, because her explanation is quite good. If one child can keep 10,000 children from starving, is it worth it? A pragmatic person would say yes.
Right.
But
the good of
no
the
one
many,
wants
Captain.
any child.
The good of the
Right.
many outweigh the good of the few.
But nobody wants any child to suffer. But when you stop and if you really had to like ask yourself, is one kid worth 10,000 kids?
Right.
As long as that kid wasn't mine, I would probably say yes. So I understand the dilemma of the entire, I understand the father's situation. I understand Pike's situation, and I understand her situation.
Right.
So that's why I thought it was such a wonderful episode. And overall, the entire episode.
We haven't gotten there yet. Hold up with the overalls, man.
Sorry.
Are you kidding me right now? Bro.
We're at the end.
So I agree with you, by the way, about the child thing, because
Yeah.
one of my favorite scenes in a movie is when John Travolta is talking to Hugh Jackman.
Okay, yeah,
whatever, Wolverine guy.
yeah.
In that movie Swordfish, and he's like, what if you had to what if to save a school you had to kill a child, and he gets Hugh Jackman to basically agree that killing one or two is good is valuable. He's like, well, how about 3? How about 10? How about 10 children? When does it end? Right? And
it ends at 9,999 because 10,000 are saved.
Right.
Yeah.
That's and the whole movie was basically like, yeah, he's the bad guy, but this bad guy is necessary because he bombs the school bus so that the school can be saved. He does really bad things so that larger amounts of people, just their way of life can continue. And
Yes.
So when I'm watching this, like, I understood, and I also understood why Pike was stressing out. And he's like, "Oh, I gotta go save him," and I love how they didn't pussy out here. Sorry, they didn't.
Oh.
They didn't sissy out, and they showed what was going to happen with the kid.
Yep.
That's great. They showed it. They showed that the kid was gonna, and Pike going, that's such a Pike thing. Pike's trying to save the kid against all odds. He just gets smacked.
No.
Yeah, it's good. And then for him to wake up in her bed and she tries to convince him that all is good after that whole exchange, like, bro.
It shows how all in she is with her thinking process on this.
Right.
And how the bad guy isn't always the bad guy in every situation.
Right, because it's normal to her.
Right.
In fact, it's necessary. And I also liked, and one more upvote, because a lot of the times the Federation just sort of does what they want. And he's like, I'm gonna talk to Starfleet. I'm bringing the Federation. I'm gonna tell someone. She's like, okay, and
yeah, that's true. He's like, dang,
right.
No, I can't do anything about this.
Yeah, this is the way it is. We don't want it to be this way, but this is the way it is.
Right.
And that's good. And there was one more good point, honorary mention. I'm not going to give it an upvote or a downvote, but I'm going to say that, the father was able to see the other, their enemy's point of view, because basically the reason that they're living on this like desolate planet and not in luxury is because they're not willing to sacrifice kids.
Right. What they didn't also talk about is how often a kid gets sacrificed. I think that would have a lot to do with it. Like, we don't know. That little corpse was still a child. So they must go through them pretty quickly. So maybe that's like another element to why this is not so cool.
It's only 2
what if
a
you went
day.
through a child a month? It's like, well, I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like because that kid was really important and they like took care of him and all that, it has to be like a little bit longer. Let's say it's once a year. That would make more sense to me. Imagine if it was like every other day. That's no big deal. No big deal. But you see, the society would be sustainable if it was like every year, because then the birth rate would kick in, right?
Okay, so let me ask you: is it a kid a year? Like, what is the? Well, and it couldn't have happened that often because they made it seem like this is something that didn't happen that frequently. But like, at what point do you think it would be okay? A kid a year, a kid a month, a kid a week, a kid every 5 years? Like, what's the okay thing here? The moral dilemma.
I'm a father, so I would let the entire city fall to the ground if it was one of my kids.
Nice. And
I would let millions die so that my kid can live one more day. But
yeah,
I'm
fair.
not. But I'm not. I don't know. I'm not in the future. I don't know. You know that term, like, burn the world down if it gave my kid a fighting chance.
Yeah. So can I give my final?
Yes, you can.
So I give it an upvote. I think it was a great episode.
Yep.
Even though it didn't have Hemmer, and if I can mess with KBG Games a little more, because he keeps getting over there ranting on me a little bit. If they, even though they had Uhura saving the day again, he's like, she's just doing her job, man.
What if in the Hemmer
I'm
episode
sorry.
she saves Hemmer?
She did.
That's right. She did. You're right.
She did in that episode.
No, but I'm talking about the Hemmer. There's a Hemmer episode coming up. I take it, right?
Hemmer's been saved by everyone.
But it's
Hemmer
not
got
next
saved by
episode.
Una. I don't think so. I mean, it could be, but we don't know everything about it.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Matt Bader said, I believe they said one a year in the show. And I didn't hear that.
Is that what they said? I missed that one. Yeah.
I'll give it to you. And Salty Tricker said, there's no acceptable number. Yeah.
Nice. He's a dad.
Matt Bader says the same thing. No acceptable number. Yeah. So most of all, what do you guys think? How many kids need to die so that you can uphold your way of life? That's the question. And if you guys have not seen that movie Swordfish, you need to watch that movie.
It's a good movie.
Jeez, it's such a great movie. Perspective. Yeah. Okay, so that's it for the review. We're gonna wrap this up here. And what's our final score there, Shane?
We got a 6.5, baby.
That's pretty solid, I think.
Pretty good episode.
You know what's
Pretty
funny
solid.
is that's super close to what KB said his score would be, 7.5.
Oh, all right. That's pretty good.
This
I
is
was just giving you.
this
I
is
was just
neck and
giving you a
neck with
hard
our other 6.5, right?
Yeah. I was giving you a hard time, KB. He's over there going, like I'm giving him a hard time. He's like, it's my perspective. I'm like, I got you, dude.
So I is one child.
We love
per
you,
hour.
man.
So the children are like fuel. You gotta
They're batteries, like the Matrix.
They're batteries.
They're basically batteries.
Archmage says, well, they said this kid had been picked from birth, so it would need to be more than one kid at this point. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay. And Salty Trekker just gave us a super chat. You should both change your name to Richard.
But we have the same last name, Salty. It would be trouble. We would never know who you were talking to. But we get it. Thank you for the super chat.
Yeah. Okay, guys, we're going to wrap this review up and get on to the Orville. Hit that subscribe button on the way to the comment section to tell Shane he was wrong and that Hura is awesome.
Why is it always me? Okay, wait. Hit that comment section to wonder why Brian has aspect ratio problems.
No, I am not the only person.
Oh, I shouldn't have said it. I'm sorry. Oh,
okay, you're right. My bad.
Sorry.
I'll control myself for now. Yeah, for now. Spock Amok actually got our lowest score, but not because it was bad. It's because there just wasn't much to upvote.
That's true. Yeah. There wasn't a lot of upvote, downvote, but I just didn't. I don't know. The whole Freaky Friday Spock thing, I didn't really like it.
Yeah, especially in hindsight, like that is such an OP ability.
Right. I mean,
I guess not even ability. Like that's like an overpowered mistake to have. And I think I said it in the Salty Guys thing. I'm like, Star Trek has gotta stop creating these like side effects that are so ridiculously extreme, like Romulans having a drive that randomly makes them time travel.
That's true. Hey, quick, jump in my body. Come on, jump in my body.
Jump in my body. Yeah.
You know? I mean, we don't want that. It's got to be at least difficult. Like, Spock, essentially to survive, needs to send his Katra into Bones' body in order to survive. Yes, okay, that makes sense.
Right, and then he's like, yeah. Right.
And they got to take him back to Vulcan to get it removed. Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff.
That's there should be like stipulations with that. Like it should be like, oh, you're about to die, your consciousness is fading. You still have to go somewhere and have it done. I don't know. It shouldn't be as easy as like, hey man, I put some slugs on your head. You guys good?
We good? We back? We're good?
Salty Trekker just said Brian is right about aspect ratio. Yes, I am. Okay.
Come on, Salty. Quit pandering to that guy. Let's see. All I see are Spock's sideburns. Thanks to you guys.
Oh my God, his sideburns are so extreme though, right?
They are. They're pretty. They're like, when a sideburn, like it goes too far, like, like a good sideburn, but once it moves into the beard area, it just gets weird. Like,
right. And that's what his does. They're like, well, they go like this. They go, and they turn the curve around and they come down.
Right, they're like making a road map on his face. And like,
I mean, he's doing great. I really like what Ethan Peck's doing with Spock, but the sideburns are ridiculous. Let's be real.
Can you imagine that we're saying that? I mean, who would have guessed we would ever say Ethan Peck Spock, good job?
I mean, dude, I want to go back to my myself like 3 years ago when I was like on podcast, like screaming and yelling about how horrible that guy is as Spock. It's a completely different character to me.
Totally agree.
And when we made the reboot, I had to go through a bunch of old Discovery, like the episode Brother and Parting in Such Sweet Sorrow, whatever. And it is a different character. It's a different character. He's not playing the Spock that we see right now. That is not the same Spock. In that show, he's smiling. He's like fidgeting, like he has like anxiety. It's not the same character whatsoever, dude.
I mean, he feels the same way we feel when Michael Burnham's around. So it's not like, I mean, it's natural to like be fidgety and uncomfortable.
Like twitching. He's like, oh, I know.
Not yourself.
Michael's here. She's just gonna do something bad.
Big sister. Oh my God. She's going to judge me. Where's my beard? Give me a beard.
Okay. We're going to jump into the Hulu. The Hulu. Damn it. The Orville review. What's wrong with me?
The Orville.
Okay. Here we go.
Every time. You're gonna have to go with the demo.
I love that you laugh every single time we play this.
It's so unexpected. I feel like it's overkill. Even though this is for the Orville people.
Every time I play it, I hear you laughing.
We get a nice compliment. We get a nice compliment from somebody who said, "Thank you for clipping out your reviews because I don't want to watch your entire long live show." So, which we're grateful for everyone who shows up for the live show because that's the whole point. But that's why I'm laughing because we reviewed something else a moment ago, the same thing. So
every time I play, I hear Shane.
I don't know what it is, man.
Okay, guys, we are reviewing the Orville Season 3, Episode 2. And if you don't know how it works, then you haven't been here. And this is how it works. Pretty much. I'm going to reset this because it was...
That's not the score. That's not it.
When Shane likes something, we give it an upvote. See that little number just pop up next to his name? And when I like something, it's an upvote. And when I dislike something, downvote. And the same for Shane. So... at the end of this review, we're going to take both of our scores and we're going to average them into the official Popcast number. And what did last Orville's number? What was that? What was the number for Orville last episode? Damn it. I can't speak to it.
It was a 10, right?
It was a 10. It was a solid 10.
Solid 10.
So we gave it a 10 because, partly because I'm sure we were so ecstatic to finally see the Orville, but we couldn't find anything wrong with it. Later on, people complain about there being lack of humor and all that. I guess with our system, it's hard to upvote and downvote something that's not there. So if there was a lack of humor and that's a criticism, that's a valid criticism, sure. But we can't upvote it or downvote it. So there's no way for us to have.
Well, we can say, like if that was like a compass with which we measure the show by,
right?
But I think we tend to lean a little more away from the humor. It depends on the episode. Right. I think you can have a serious episode, and I don't think every episode needs to have, Mocklin sex in it or Mocklin porn.
I disagree. I think every episode should have Mocklin sex in it.
Well, if it does, then it's a different show than what we watch.
I want the show to open up with Bortus on the holodeck. Every single episode in some other depraved sexual act.
Well, then it changes the tone. So are you sure that's what you want? Ideally that would be hilarious, but I think we've, and I think this is a fair thing to say. When the Orville first came out, it was very Family Guy in space. Yeah. And after the first, half of the season, it started to change. You're like, wait a second. These are telling great Star Trek stories.
Right.
Hold on a sec. And then season 2 had some really great funny stuff, but it went to this whole serious, it became kind of serious.
Yeah. There's Ray's trying to end the universe and time travel. And I was like, now I got to sit up and pay attention.
So I want to warn you guys, all of you who love the Orville, if you are watching the Orville because you love Star Trek comedy, like Lower Decks type of stuff, you are probably not going to enjoy the rest of the season of the Orville. I don't have a feeling that there are a whole lot of slapstick stuff left, although there are little moments of comedy in each of the episodes. Even in this episode, episode 2, which was, I would say, a pretty darn serious episode, there were a couple of moments and even a sex joke in there for Seth. So hopefully it's enough to hold you over and tide you over. But I think season 3 is a little more on the serious side.
Yeah, I said the same thing. Like, you can't really be, like John Burns just said, like, you're going to upvote, he's dead, waka, 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 about suicide.
He's dead, Jim.
Yeah, I mean, you can't. And like what their criticisms were more like, maybe it should have been the first episode. But then we disagree. It had to be the first episode because it had to deal with Isaac and the new character. So
Isaac's story had to be told.
Right. So humor or not, this show is good. It's not going to be the same as the first season. There is more at stake here. It's a little more serious. There's more canon. There's more substance, and that's good. I think it's good.
Ideally, ultimately. And there's a couple of moments where there's a really inappropriate joke in this episode that I, watching with my kids, would have a hard time explaining.
What's that?
Which was fine. What's that?
Which one was that?
It's when Seth was explaining to Kelly how she's not getting the thing off properly.
Oh.
My kid's like, what does that mean?
You gotta jerk it. You're not doing it right.
8 more years, son. We'll talk about it.
8 more years, boss. I like how it wasn't just him. It was him and Grimes, right?
I don't know who was standing next to him.
It was both.
Yes.
So Grimes said it first, and he came in like 5 minutes later and said the same thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
All right. So here we go, guys. Orville time. Opening up with a 6 shot of the Orville. Of course.
Graphics are so gorgeous, man. Just can't. We're gonna be interviewing Brandon Fayette, who's in charge of production over there, and I really have a lot of questions to ask him about like what they did to upgrade it so much, because it does look so much better.
It does. Yeah. I mean, a lot of it's practical. So I don't believe that it was. I mean, yeah, there's a lot, obviously graphics, but like a lot of what we see is inside the ship, and that's practical. Like we were there. It's definitely practical, and it's beautiful.
Yeah. But even their VFX stuff is just really next level.
I agree. All right. So we open up. Claire is in her office, and here comes Admiral. This guy seemed. What's his name?
Admiral Christie.
Admiral Christie. Did you get a weird, like, rapey vibe from him in the beginning?
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely not how an admiral usually acts, but we find out he has a good reason for it.
He's like in love with Claire or whatever, right?
Well, he was married to her once.
Right, but in the very beginning, like, it felt like maybe he was inappropriate or something. Like he had the
yeah, he obviously knows her very well, or wants to.
Right. Like, oh, why so formal? Because you're an admiral, dude. Like, actually, I'm gonna give that a downvote.
But hold on. Whoa. What if it was your ex-husband?
I felt like the tone was off here.
I know, but what if it was your ex-husband? Like, let's say you're Claire. I want you to put on your medical coat for a second, and your black curlies, okay? And you're Claire, and you're chilling, right? And you're like, hey, hand me over that medical device. And then in walks a salty old white admiral, okay? And then be like, hey, remember me?
Oh, your admiralship. Whatever shall I do?
So, I mean, there's carnal knowledge involved here. I mean, I think he has the right to act like a regular person.
I don't know. So I'm not going to blame the writing. I think that maybe the acting was off or something, because this character in the beginning didn't work for me.
Maybe he should have come in and said, like, it's been a long time, Claire. And then like the music from General Hospital starts to come in.
No, but my problem is the way it was played. For me, it felt, I don't know, like he was abusing his, like, that vibe where like someone's abusing their power to sort of like hit on a subordinate. I don't like it. I didn't like it. Bothered me.
I mean, if it turns out that they weren't married, then I agree with you. Like, it did feel that way. But once I realized their backstory, then I didn't feel so bad about it.
Yeah, KB Games. Yeah, I gave him a downvote. I'm sorry, man. I gave sexual harassing ex-husband a downvote. That's right away.
You kind of feel sorry for him a little later, I think.
No, at no point do I feel sorry for this guy. I don't. Hey, it's not a very good character. I guess
mean, he still has feelings for her.
Yeah, but they're not reciprocated at all.
I mean, but that's why that's kind of why I feel bad for him.
Yeah, I don't feel bad for him.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, he's really trying to get her like, hey, he's like, unmarried men look younger. What the hell, bro?
You're like
you're lucky I already downvoted you, because that would be another downvote line, dude. Chill out.
Yeah, no, it was definitely getting creepy there before you.
It's creepy, bro. He's like leaning over her desk, like, get out of there, Penny, get out of there.
So we learn that basically what's happening is the Orville's getting ready to head to unexplored Krill space. They're solidifying the treaty with the Krill, and this admiral is on board essentially to make sure that happens.
Right. Yeah. And
he used to be a professor of Claire's,
which is even more inappropriate.
Well, so they were actually having, she's an adult, he's an adult, which is still inappropriate. But so she was a student. They started seeing each other, and then after she was no longer a student, they got married.
Right.
But he quickly decided, like, he just really wanted a plaything, I guess, a young plaything.
Ugh. God, it's so gross. Okay, this scene with the Krill is gonna get an upvote from me. I love the interaction between the Krill and I'm trying to get there without hitting play. Between the Krill. I gotta go back. Damn it.
That actually gets an upvote from me, just because Ed gives us a reality moment of he doesn't really want to be at this party.
Right.
And he's giving us that honest, like, Kelly leaves him and he's gonna just get drunk, basically.
Yeah. So I'm giving
it
upvote. Yeah, I thought the Krill were I liked it too. It's like, once the Kalon are crushed, our alliance will be dissolved.
Right, because we have to remember that the Krill think of humans as basically cows. Like, right. We are not.
Yeah, we're food.
Yeah, we're not like on the level of on their mental level to them. We're not worthy of their attention.
Yeah, because we are livestock.
Basically, yeah. Praise Ava.
So they had to ally themselves with the cows so that another enemy couldn't take them out. I like that. Yeah. I like this whole scene. It was good. Yeah, creepy guy again. Something. I gotta be honest. I'm probably gonna upvote it when he gets wrecked. Oh, so I like this too. Their explanation about something that was like super. So they want access to a planet so that they can mine it for a material that they use for their propulsion, right?
Yes.
And in return, I guess they want to go and like explore the expanse. And their response to them was very interesting. Like, hey, you don't want to go in there. Like,
yeah.
You'd think if they hated them, they wouldn't care. But like but their distaste for the I want to say Federation, that's not correct. The Union is not as gnarly as their fear of this creature.
That's true, but they also did say, well, we're not going to come save you. So maybe it was also in part to make it so there wasn't some sort of incident, or, imagine them dying in their territory because of something if they didn't at least say something,
Right.
But the demon thing I thought was interesting because it kind of goes to show, I would have thought they would probably take that a little more seriously, at least the hint of a warning that the crew would have, obviously if the Krill, but they kind of got, it's been 100 years since they even went in search over there. It's probably nothing, right?
Yeah, but so the reason that they didn't take it seriously is because they know that these people are like religious zealots.
Right.
So like, it makes sense that a religious zealot's going to like have superstitions. And so they probably just think it's superstitions, right?
Yeah, that's kind of how it goes into it.
Yeah. Okay. All right, moving on. Oh, okay. So how'd you feel about Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm gonna get past this point. They're gone. How do you feel about the Admiral?
Christy?
I was about to say Admiral Me Too. How do you feel about him going?
Admiral Me Too.
Admiral Me Too. How do you feel about Admiral Me Too going on the mission with them? Here we go. Here we go. Admiral Me Too being Me Too again. Look at this. He finds her at dinner. Hey, Claire, what's happening?
So they did find an actor that kind of has creepy, like Andrew, Andrew, who's the guy from Psycho? Andrew Perkins, I think.
Yeah.
Anthony Perkins.
It's like Bill O'Reilly without the facial hair.
Bill O'Reilly. He does have that vibe going on, but he really likes her and he thinks that he's gonna get her back, and he's going on this mission essentially because he wants to be with her. I'm pretty sure that's why he's going.
Right. You made a mistake, bro.
Yeah.
Read the room, dude. Read the room. Okay. Yeah, so he's going on the mission. I'm gonna get past this is awkward. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm gonna go back one real quick. He has a ring that he carries around with him. That's made out of
feel bad for him?
No.
I mean, he's obviously pining for Claire. Feels like he made a mistake, You don't got a little bit of sympathy for the dude?
See, I think the actor's not playing it right, bro, because I'm getting player vibes from this guy the whole time. I'm not
okay. So you're thinking he's playing her.
He's just trying to hook up with a previous flame. I don't feel sorry for him at all. I feel like he's a dirtbag.
So either he didn't pull it off in his acting job, or that was his ultimate goal and it really didn't pay off.
Right. Yeah, I'm going to the Orville. I'm gonna grab this ring and I'm hook up with Claire again.
Okay.
Yeah, I subjectively, the actor didn't do it for me. Doesn't mean the episode's bad, just the actor didn't do it for me.
Well, I guess that's a good point. I think because that never really gets sussed out, I'm going to give that a down vote.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, I really feel like, because now that you brought that up, I think it's a good point. It needed to be one or the other. And because it was a little bit ambiguous, then I guess, because we don't know whether he was sincere in his feelings or whether he was just being a player, and that didn't come through, that's still not a positive.
Right. Okay. Oh, so the speech though, Ed gives a speech. I like this, right? He did from his heart. He didn't prepare a speech, right?
Yeah, I love Kelly tells him, just do it from your heart. Please, give me an upvote on that one.
Yeah.
I love how he says, may the force be with you.
Yeah, he says, may the force be with you. You know what's funny is I wonder if he can do that now because they're technically owned by Disney and he couldn't do that before.
Yeah, well, maybe. Well, I don't know.
Could they do it before?
No, they're still part of. I mean, they're still the same. This is still a Disney product.
Right, but it wasn't a Disney product before the acquisition.
Maybe. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it did belong to Fox.
Right. Another creepy thing was when, I don't know, I don't like this guy. I'm actually starting to dislike him. Now that I'm watching a second time with you here, he comes to Isaac and he's like, hey, how'd you feel about, I don't know. You guys let us know, hit the comment section. Like, how do you feel about Admiral Christie? The creepy white guy, creepy old guy, sorry. Mm-hmm. How do you feel about him? Did you get vibes, or was he just a pathetic old man pining for an old relationship? That's the question. I would like to know.
Well, in this situation, I mean, I felt like he went to the only source he could. Claire already basically turned him down. So he went to the only source he could to try to find a way to get back into her graces. I mean, he obviously feels like he can somehow win her back over still. So I'm still, because I already told you, it was unclear to me. So I still am unclear.
Mm. Yeah. So this whole exchange was just sort of, I mean, I guess there was funny parts when he starts talking about how Claire likes particular coitus positions or whatever. I thought that was sort of funny.
Yeah, Isaac, he's not going to hold back because he's
whatsoever.
He's just going to say it like it is.
Yeah. All right, moving forward past that point. All right, they're going to the Expanse. How do you feel about this Expanse area?
I don't really understand it, to be honest with you. I'm not sure what it is.
What?
I guess there's no stars.
Yeah, so real space has expanses like between solar systems or galaxies or whatever. Sometimes there's entire areas that just don't have solar systems, and so they're just black voids.
I don't think they don't usually call them expanses though. They call them like voids.
They call them voids, right?
You know, so I thought the term expanse was a little unclear, but then I got it. So it wasn't like a downvote or anything like that.
Yeah, Jeremy just said Admiral Chris was being creepy old dude. He was asking everyone on the ship who was intimate with Claire. Yeah. Like, bro, putting off some weird vibes, bro. I don't know. I like the imagery of the void though, like a lot.
That it's black.
That it slowly went from like stars to no stars.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Like one criticism I had actually of Stargate Universe was when they entered their void, like it was like a clear, like the stars ended. And you're like, that's not how it would work. I understand you wanted to visualize that, but that's not how it would work on TV. So they did it correctly here. All right. Well, what about the look of the spaceship? And how do these creatures, like, are they intelligent? I need to know more about this. Are the creatures intelligent? Or are they like just monsters? Because they're building like spaceships. So anyone want to tell me how that works?
Well, yeah. So they're obviously not just those little things. They're ultimately the humanoids we end up seeing at the end. So apparently that's just how they reproduce. So they're eventually able to build spaceships and do all that stuff, which we learn.
Ah, that's crazy.
Yeah, this is just how they have to lure in other entities in order to reproduce.
That's really unique.
Yeah, totally different idea, and that's something we've never seen before. It reminded me a lot of upvote for me too. It reminded me a lot of the movie Alien. Even though that's not how they make the aliens. It's just the idea that it impregnates and is born basically through the humanoid.
Right.
In this way, it actually changes it into that. So it was really creative.
Yeah. How did the aliens in Alien get around? They didn't have spaceships, right?
No, they were on a planet and they would get picked up by, they would essentially
like a
get picked up.
disease.
Yeah, they would wait around until a humanoid came around that they could embed itself into and then be born.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So this is possibly an even more gnarly version of Alien. Might be cool.
Maybe, except in the beginning it kind of felt like that.
Do you feel like there were too many people in this landing party?
No, no. I don't know why they would take less.
Well, what do you need? What do you need Lamar for?
It's like a base that seems empty. So he's an engineer, so it makes sense to have him.
And you need Tala because she's strong.
Security. She's security.
And you need Kelly because she's Kelly?
I would say either Ed or Kelly should probably go, but they don't seem to have this rule. I'm Kelly. Well, later on they may have this rule, but they don't seem to have this like the captain has to stay behind kind of thing,
right?
On the Orville, so it didn't strike me as odd when it happened.
And the doctor was there because
doctor's always going away missions, bro.
Okay, all right. I know why Admiral Me Too's there is because for two purposes. He wants to be there because he wants to explore things personally. And he has to be the guy that gets, whatever happens to him.
Yeah.
I don't know. When I first saw this, it felt like a lot of people. I think, what's funny is if Ed or Kelly were not in this group, it wouldn't feel like a lot.
Okay. It doesn't feel like a lot to me. So
okay.
I guess
that's fair.
I guess to you, it must feel like a lot because I don't know. Maybe you explain to me why you think it's a lot.
Well, as a lot of people are put at risk when you don't know what is there,
okay.
Or and a lot of important people are put at risk.
That's fair.
All right.
They don't have red shirts on the show, bro.
You're right.
You got to remember, they don't have, we never get just random people. Like, except this episode, we did get a random person, but it doesn't usually operate that way.
Yeah, you're right. And there's a lot of random people that died this episode. Very cool, by the way, this set. I love like the green light behind like the red. It's very striking, very unique, very alien, right?
Yeah, they did a really good job, and I'll give that an upvote. They did a good job of creating this additional, this offset world,
right?
You know,
or planet or ship or whatever, right?
Right.
All right,
it's empty. It's creepy. This whole episode is kind of spooky, you know, and that's what, you know, when Tom did his cut, you know, it was, you know, now entering a haunted house, right?
Yeah, I had that vibe.
And it definitely, through the entire thing, it was a scary episode. You know, watching it with my younger children, they would have been like, "What? I'm not watching that."
So here it is. Here's the moment. Here's the moment. Admiral Christie has gotten a little too close to the wrong thing. That didn't happen. Damn it.
Yeah, it's not there.
Here we go. Right
there you go.
Oh yeah, let me get more closer to this hole. Interesting. What can that? Oh no!
Oh, something. I got something in my eye. What? What happened?
I don't know. It moved, man. Yeah. So a good time.
There's a good comment over here. Did they ever determine if the ship was organic or not? And that is a really great question. Like in Stargate, they have the
Wraith.
The Wraith, or it's an organic ship, right?
Right. Yeah. The Wraith ships are grown.
This very well could be an organic vessel. We didn't figure that out in this episode, but that's totally possible. There's things growing on the walls. So
yeah, which is cool. All right, and the Admiral passes out, and now I gotta say the makeup for this was so good. Upvote from me.
Vote me up too. Yep.
Can I be honest? I wish they would have kept him in this in between state.
Yes,
because I did not like the final form.
Yeah, there's actually, you can go another step forward to his next evolution of where his thing is, where he's got the giant one eye on one side.
Right.
And I'm like, that is creepy.
It was so creepy.
Like, it would have been cooler if they hadn't gone all the way. I mean, I know they had to go all the way, because then, you know, you would have personified this guy too much when he really needed to be another being.
No, but I disagree. I think that would have made it even more of a complex thought.
Yeah.
When if there was a remnant of the human in there. Remember that horror movie? Oh my God, I'm forgetting it. It's a horror movie where they out in the country, scarecrow. No, it's like a scarecrow that like hunts the kids in the bus, and he like takes their skin. Oh my God, how am I forgetting the name of this movie?
They take their skin?
Yeah, there's this alien thing that like hunts every like 5 or 6 years or so, or decade or whatever, and like the kids are like on the school bus going through a field. It breaks down, and he starts hunting them, and they figure out that he's wearing their skin. Jeepers Creepers. Thank you.
Yeah.
Jesus.
That was actually a really good movie.
Great movie.
Yeah.
But one of the things that made Jeepers Creepers such a revolting reveal was when like you saw a part of the human face on him, you know?
Yeah.
And they probably should have done the same thing here. I feel like the final form of the alien monster was just not as creepy as it could have been.
Well, yeah, ultimately it ended up not being as creepy as him laying there and what he looked like. Right. It was scary like the first time they showed it, but I think when you show them going around the ship and crawling on the walls, which is super creepy, they cease to be as scary, I think. And maybe part of the, you know, listen, the Orville's not always making a horror episode. That's not what they do.
Right. Yeah.
You know, so you know, less is more in that situation probably, but not enough to downvote it.
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, I would have probably done the old sort of horror method of not showing the monsters, maybe showing one or two, but then when you want to, show that there's a lot of them, have like noises and shadows and stuff like that.
Yeah, I like that one shot with the face. Like it was really creepy. It was super duper creepy. I mean, we're not there yet, I guess. Should I be talking about it yet?
Yeah. Let's talk about when we get there. So they go back to the alien ship, and they're going to examine the pulsating anuses. I'm assuming.
What is that? Is that the first thing that came? I was going to say flowers, but okay, yeah, anuses. I got it.
Those look like flowers to you?
Well, they look like they're opening up into flowers. No,
what does your anus look like?
I never even considered.
Looks like a
I never considered an anus at all.
I mean, to me, it looks like they look like anuses. I'm not gonna lie.
To me, it looks like spacemen with a helmet on their head. Wait, it is. They don't look like flowers. They look like pumpkins.
They don't look like pumpkins. That's a better. Yeah, they look like upside down pumpkins.
Pumpkins, anuses. It's all good.
All right, here's the moment. Yes.
Yeah,
that is amazing.
Right?
That's makeup is legit. I'm sorry, go ahead.
That was where my upvote came in.
Yeah. That is so good. That it's honestly disappointing at what he ends up looking like. Because that is so good. That is amazing. That is like my wife was watching. She was like, "Oh my God, what?"
Wouldn't it have been crazy if like there was an entire race of whatever race you were that this thing was able to turn you into basically that, where you got two little eyeballs above one eye, and like maybe there's some other weird things about you, and that's the new race of whatever alien this is.
Right. I like that.
Yeah. With some fangs, maybe that would have been cool.
Yeah, it looked really good. I'm not gonna upload it again because I already did, but that was really good graphics. My goodness. All right. Like that's good enough to like if I put that on the thumbnail, it might get demonetized. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, then it's good. Yeah.
Right. Oh, and like the pus sacks and all that, just very, very good. Everything about this is like really well done. Yeah. So, and they make sure to show it off because I'm sure it says like, yeah, this is amazing. Focus the camera. Okay, I'm trying to get to the actual monster. So this is creepy, like the dark hallway. You know what's funny?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. There was just a moment where my brain sort of like tipped to Chief Kyle from Strange New Worlds when I saw this guy walking down the hallway.
Yeah,
because he has that vibe.
Oh, he does. Yeah.
Yeah. And he finds, so other people are getting infected on the ship. That's a bummer. I wonder how many they lost. There was at least nine monsters there.
I was thinking between like 6 and 12, somewhere in there.
Interesting. Okay.
This was very creepy. Like this whole part with the kids, right up into, like they're coming out. You see like little skitters off in the shadows, and you're like, oh, this is really spooky. It's like all really great up until at this point.
Right. Yeah, and so she went to their quarters looking for their kids, and the kids went to the sick bay looking for their mom. Like at that moment, you're just assuming something bad's gonna happen, right?
Yes.
But that would have been a cliche, so I'm sort of glad I didn't.
Although we do get this great scene if you go forward a little bit. You get this kind of little hide and seek thing, which reminded me a lot of Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park, yeah,
yes.
Me too.
I got that Jurassic Park vibe where the kids, when they're hiding in the kitchen in Jurassic Park, and you got the boys hiding kind of around the back of things, and then moving just before the dinosaur, or I guess in this case the
Velociraptor, yeah,
flesh-eating zombie creature thing.
Yeah, total Jurassic Park. Hold on to your butts.
And I got kind of the sound almost sounded like a Velociraptor.
Yeah,
the sound the creature making. Yeah.
Yeah, see, it was more scary when we had not seen the actual creature.
Yeah, I think once we start seeing them like in like full form constantly, I think the moment where John ends up locking himself in the brig to escape, which by the way was brilliant. Really great move, but that's an upvote for me when we get there. But when they're just like chilling there in front of it, like looking at him, I'm like, the mystery and the fear is dissipating from me.
Right. Although seeing this random guy just get like yeeted by the monster was sort of nice.
That was cool.
Oh, and like also, I feel like he transformed way too fast.
There's something on the screen there. The screen's black to me. Are you still showing?
Oh, yeah, I was. I guess it. My bad, guys. There you go.
There we go.
How long has that been like that? Jeez.
Not long.
Okay. Yeah, it's like he like instantly starts to change into the monster.
Yes, that was cool.
Was that
really
cool?
great special effects change? Yeah,
yes, it was cool. The special effects change was cool, but why did it take other guys so much time?
Well, because he was infected by the pod, so it had to be gestated inside of him.
Oh, okay.
So it had to go through a system so that he changed. Now the actual creature is probably able to immediately change other people.
Right.
There's almost a Borg-like quality to this. We'll talk about it later, though.
Right. Oh man, organic Borg on the Orville. That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So that's what I wanted to show. So the makeup is good.
That looks great, though. Like, that looks great.
It looks great. But it's not as creepy as the human face, I don't think. And subjectively, obviously. But also, I don't think his body matches the face. Like, they're too
You think
humanoid.
it's not big enough, or?
Like I think their bodies are too humanoid. I have a feeling that next time you see this race, they're going to be updated a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure how far into budget they wanted to go to. Like, I mean, they obviously had to CG a lot of this. Right. Did they want to give him tails? How much you got, because you got to go far. Once you've done the face, once doing the body, you have to, decide how far you want to go with that.
Right. Yeah. They explained what, Richard? Tell us in the chat. Oh yeah. Okay. So this is that moment. Or it's coming up. John Lamar. I love this too. And he's like talking to Isaac. Isaac did great in this episode too. Oh, there's a scene coming up I'm going to upvote so hard is when the alien comes face to face with Isaac.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was good.
Oh man. I was hoping that Isaac would just like destroy him.
Yeah.
All right. This is the moment when he gets trapped in the brig. Yeah, that's cool. So this is an upvote.
That was cool. I mean, way to think it,
Yeah.
Yeah, give me mine there. And they're trying to get through. They don't understand, which, we'll determine later or not whether that's reality or not.
Their bodies don't work for me.
They do seem like people in suits at this point. So it goes back and forth from people in suits to cool CGI crawling along the ceilings.
Right. Yeah, I guess there's only so much you can do.
There is only so much you can do in these situations. And so, I mean, it didn't bug me horribly. I would say the only thing that took me out was I was less afraid of them.
Right. Tala has a cool moment.
She's got a majorly cool moment.
Yeah, she kicks some butt, bro.
In fact, that's an upvote for me. We finally get to see Tala really unleash what she's capable of doing.
Yeah, I agree. That's an upvote too. That was
cool. She really kicks the crap out of these things.
Yeah, I guess they weren't. They just decided not to spit on her though. That's my.
Sorry, guys, I guess they didn't get an opportunity to, or that's As people watching it, we always want to say, well, they'll just spew on you really fast. But it is a TV show and not reality.
Right.
So we have to remember that, just because we think they might have had time to do it doesn't mean that.
That's true.
Oh,
that one tried.
It did. She dodged it.
That was cool. Yeah. That was a Chad, bro.
Chad.
I mean, dude, so someone's messaging me and my. Sorry, guys. Hold up. Let me turn this off.
Somebody's like, this is the Orville. It's not Star Trek.
Dude. Come on. Leave me alone. Oh, my God. It's Fishing Clan.
Fishing Clash?
It's a Fishing Clash or whatever. All right. Yeah, so this whole scene was cool. Yeah, boom, kicked her. I mean, just rad. We finally get to see Tala. Yeah. So how long since season 2? We haven't really gotten to see her people. Like they've touched on it, but she like easily and calmly dispatched these two aliens.
Yeah. Well, there were more than two even. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, this is the scene. I'm getting an upvote. This is getting an upvote too. I'll show you guys right now. I'll play. You want to give it an upvote or not?
I think it was cool, but I didn't upvote.
Okay, I'm giving it an upvote because this was the coolest part of this episode for me. Ready? Then again, I'm an Isaac guy, and so awesome, man.
You know why I didn't upvote it?
Huh?
Because his little eyes should have came out, and he should have just devastated this thing right now.
Yes, I do agree with that.
But I get that, like, that we wanted to have this moment where he's a machine and it's trying to figure out whether or not it can, make it one of them.
Right.
So I get that moment, but as soon as it had that moment, Isaac should have just obliterated it.
Oh, you know what would have been rad? What if he determines he's gonna try and he spits on Isaac, and Isaac goes and spits back with his
Yes, that would have been cool.
and just disintegrates him, and then just casually keeps walking down the hallway.
And then he just keeps on going down the hall. That would have been perfect.
That would have been so rad.
That would have been such, because we got to remember Isaac's a badass.
Yeah. He has a whole like laser cannon in his head.
Yeah, they probably didn't do it because Tala had that big old fight already. But it would have been cool it definitely would have been cool.
It didn't have to be a big fight. It could have been like this stare down, and the alien goes, all right, spits at him, and then Isaac looks back and goes, and spits back.
Yeah, and spits back, right? Because nothing happened.
Yeah, that would have been awesome. Anyways.
Because I think and here's another reason why this doesn't really work, even though I get what they were trying to do, and I'm actually going to give it a downvote. Because, in this situation, they're trying to but Isaac's not scared. There's no tension in this scene because we know that this alien can't hurt Isaac. So all the tension is gone. Like, we're supposed to be scared or frightened for Isaac in this moment, but it can't do anything to him. And we know this. So I think it's a loss of an opportunity to have that sort of tense moment that they're looking for by him going face to face with Isaac, right?
Yeah. It would have been really rad, though, had Isaac done something heroic here. Like,
yeah.
Maybe when the guy takes off, the camera shoots around, and Isaac grabs it by his leg and just starts casually dragging it down the hallway.
That'd have been cool. And then his face comes out, like,
Right.
Something bad's about to happen in the next room or something.
Yeah. I mean, they could have done something here with Isaac.
Yeah.
All right. But I still gave it an upvote because I thought it was a cool scene.
Yeah, it was cool. The face to face. What's up, baby? Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss. All right. So, then Lamar is like, dude, I'm stuck in the brig. Come get me out, bro. Come on, bro. John Burns says, how do you know Isaac can go full Kalon? Could have been deactivated. I guess that's possible. But he's still strong. Here's what I would say, John. We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
So as far as we're aware of, he can still do those things. We try to operate from a stance of like, what we know or don't know.
Yeah.
So they should show us that if he can't do that.
Yep. Okay. Lamar being Lamar, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So Tala brings the dead. I don't even know.
You got a button switch again.
Oh, damn it. My bad, guys. I don't know why it's doing that. It's really weird. Oh, no, that's not right. There it goes.
There we go.
Yeah. So Tala brings, what are these things called? We don't know, right?
We don't know, actually. Demons.
Demons. Tala brings the Krill's demons, one of them to sick bay. And just when they needed it. And they figure out that the genome has been completely transformed, but there's still some white blood cells remaining.
Mm-hmm. So that means it's human.
It was human, and it has very little white blood cells. And so the way to kill it is a simple cold virus.
Vote for cool science.
Yep.
I really enjoyed that.
Do you think that I think we've seen that before, right? Like that's sort of like homage to like the Indian Native Americans and the programs. Like I think in the movie there was that movie War of the Worlds. Like I think the aliens came down here to like kill us, but then they got sick or something.
I recall that. That ended up being the thing that saved them or something. Yeah.
Right. So I like this a lot. And I sort of don't like the fact that they didn't do it that way. Like they let them go. How do you feel about this?
Well, if we're there, then yeah. So that's a big downvote for me, actually.
Yeah. So between this and there is just them walking around with blasters shooting them. So
yeah. So Ed decides. It's Ed who does it. So Dr. Claire's got this idea. Let's spread flood everything, and then Ed says, well, maybe we shouldn't kill him. Maybe, look, there's the ship coming. So they find out one of their ships are coming. He goes, maybe we shouldn't kill him. They're still our crew members. And so then they'd said, well, let me try to reach him. Let me try to reach Admiral Christie and see if I can reach them. And I downvote this because, look, these creatures have come on your ship. They're obviously trying to kill everyone. And to me, it felt like negotiating with the creatures from the movie Aliens. Like I'm not sure why what's the bonus for just getting them off your ship? Like, these aren't benevolent, going to take care of you creatures. The next people they run into, they're going to do the same thing to.
Right. Yeah. Like they were nice to the krill and barely was able to get a relationship out of that.
Right. So it's like, I don't think this species was worthy of saving. And I did you give my downvote?
Yeah.
And I'm also going to give another downvote because then, basically Claire's like, do it, kill him, get rid of him. And then the alien's like, he sees what's happened. He's like, oh, hold on. Go ahead. Yeah. We'll leave. Right. And then he's like, and then he threatens her and he's like, but this isn't the last time we'll see each other.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why did you not just immediately kill them at that moment? So you're going to let them off the ship and go away. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And
My response, yes, you're 100% right. I got downvoted too. Damn it. I didn't want to. I got to. Because you're right. When he threatens her, my response as Penny would have been, oh, okay, never mind. Captain, go ahead and release it.
Yeah, that's it. He threatened her.
We're going to let them go. And they just said they're going to come back and kill us all. So let's just solve this problem right now.
Yeah, they just taught us, and not to necessarily bring the Star Trek into the Orville, but for what we understand, we just met the organic Borg. Because they said, he said, we're going to make you one of us.
Right.
And so as soon as that happened, you got to understand, this is insidious. This isn't like we're going to be buddies now, so we're going to let you go. So, whatever, you need to, annihilate them. Because now what's going to happen is these creatures are going to go back to that ship and communicate everything going on what just happened. And now the Orville is going to become even a bigger target than they were previously.
Right. And I $5 says the weakness that she just explained to them,
yes,
will no longer be a weakness when they're able to deal with it.
Yeah. Or if they can, solve that, maybe they can't, but that now they know. So you've just given them a 1-up. Now, granted, at the end of this episode, they say the Admiralty basically said, no more going in there. So I don't think we're going to run into these creatures probably again for a while, if at all.
What if they just come to us? They have ships, dude.
Could happen that way. I mean, they got to get through krill space first, but yeah.
It's true. They have to get through krill space. Yeah, another downvote. I'm so sorry, guys. How did they leave?
The alien creatures?
Yeah. How did they leave?
That's a really good point, because they did not show, like, did they beam them off? I mean, everything's kind of done with space shuttles around here. So yeah, you're right. We didn't get to see that. Like, you wouldn't want that spaceship connecting to your ship to get its people off.
Right. And like, okay, we're going to go. Okay. Bye.
Yeah.
Where did they go? And like, you just casually walk away like you solved the problem. Let's go back to Union space. Wait a minute. How did they get off the ship? That actually is a big problem.
Yeah, give me a downvote too. You're right. That's something that needs to be.
How did they get off the ship?
Yeah.
Yeah. And if they can get off the ship if they can spacewalk as those creatures, that is even more. That's even more insane.
I mean, I'm okay with that if that's the case.
Right, but they should have shown that. They should have shown them on the outside of the ship, jumping out the ship, like a quick few seconds, because it would have made them even more terrifying that they can spacewalk without space suits.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
No, that's a good point.
All right. So, overall, I did like this. I did like the last scene with Isaac sitting down with Claire. I thought that was lovely.
Almost like because there was some, was she still going to, and she's obviously okay with him again.
Yeah, because it's right at this point, it's either Isaac or a blood-sucking alien. So
she's got her perspective back with Isaac. Is that what you're saying?
It's like, oh, you were not as bad as Admiral Me Too.
Overall, I'd like to give the episode an upvote because I think overall the episode was very good, even though it may have had a little bit of troubles here and there and a little bit of continuity issues. Overall, a not so great. What did one of the salty guys say the other day? Matt said, even not the best episode of the Orville is still a great episode of television, or a good episode of television, like pizza.
That's true. That is very true.
So I will tell you guys,
I'm gonna give it an upvote too overall, because I was thoroughly entertained.
Absolutely, excellent hour of television. It was fun. We got to see something new. We got an adventure. I will say that next week's episode, if you are down at all a little bit about this episode and you're kind of like, next week's episode is going to blow your socks off. By far the best of the first 3 episodes. Next week's episode is good.
Yeah. We're not supposed to explain much, but I gotta tell you,
we're not going to say nothing. But yeah.
The next episode of the Orville is some of the best science fiction I've seen in a very long time.
Yeah. So you still be hyped for next week, even if this one you're like,
Oh, next week is so good. It's so good. All right. That's it, man. Oh, the idiot says, especially after they made a point to say that they needed a breathable atmosphere, implying the creatures need a breathable atmosphere. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Hey, someone call Ed. They're still on the ship, Ed. They're still on the ship. They're in the Jeffries tubes or whatever they're called.
Yeah. So a couple of things I want to put. A $2 super chat here from Salty Trekker. Thanks, Salty. By the way, Salty Trekker, shout out. If you haven't seen our latest video, you got to go, and it was all Salty Trekker's idea. And we just made a video out of it, and you got to go watch that. It's really great. Really no downvote for all religion is bad.
I didn't get that this episode.
Huh. Yeah, you'll have to hit us up with that one. All religion is bad. I didn't get that
one.
Now, I know
that what?
Maybe the Krill, because their religion, they question the Krill's religion, maybe.
So if they didn't listen to the Krill because the Krill were zealots, and then you're saying the Admiral said. So if the Admiral said that their religion is bad, and then he gets turned into a monster, I think karma. This episode is telling you that he was wrong.
That's karma.
Yeah, that's straight karma. I think you're seeing it wrong. You gotta watch past the moment that Admiral Me Too, who we established as a dirtbag, said something bad about their religion, because then he gets turned into a blood-sucking organic Borg. So I gotta tell you, overall, I'm pretty sure the message was not their religion's bad. I'm pretty sure overall the message was that guy's an idiot.
Yeah. So if anything, if you're a fan of religion, it would probably deserve an upvote from us. But I'm pretty ambivalent either way. So.
All right. So that's that. So I think you're wrong. So you gotta tell us, Mike. I think what we just said. Think about that.
Yeah. Ultimately, it's Archmage says something here that maybe we have higher expectations for the Orville.
Oh,
maybe
Victor Garber said it, not the Me Too guy.
Oh,
whatever. They didn't listen to the religious guys, and they ended up getting turned into zombies. So, I think overall, maybe they should have had a little more respect for the Krill's religion, even if it didn't play.
Yeah, and I think. I don't know where they came from with Victor Garber doing that. I don't know if that's the sentiment of the show. I don't know if Seth is religious or not, but I don't think
the actress that plays Victor Garber doesn't like religion for sure.
Really?
Yeah, 'cause he was in that show Legends.
Mhm.
His character had said multiple things about religion too, and that he must be something to do with his must be an actor's thing.
Yeah, hey Seth, can we write this in? Because religion's bad, whatever. In that case, listen, to each their own. If you love religion, good for you.
Yeah,
if you don't, that's your thing.
Do what you want.
Overall, though, for what Archmage said, it's not that we have higher expectations for the Orville. It's just that we love the Orville and we really love what they're doing and where they're going. And in the end, it's going to end up being good. But we're going to be honest no matter what. Even if we love a show, we're still going to be honest and upvote and downvote properly. So, at least the way we see it.
Well, I mean, it's not. I mean, we love the Orville, but that doesn't mean it got like a stellar score. In fact, this week's score, if you look at the numbers, 5.4, 4.5, that's a full 2 points below Strange New Worlds. Doesn't mean we didn't enjoy it, but there were some problems, right?
Yeah, there were.
So this is as scientific as we can get. We love it. We still love the episode, but this is how it played out. This is why we came up with the point system, because people kept trying to quantify. Well, was it better? Was it worse? What'd you think? Well, there's our score, 4.5.
Now to give you some context, Kenobi was a negative what?
A negative 73.
It was negative something.
No,
right?
it was negative 5.5 or something like that. Oh, 8.5. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kenobi was negative 8.5.
Right. So there you go. So
yeah,
this is Orville's doing just fine.
Yeah, Orville's doing fine. Yeah. 4.5 is not bad. 6.5 is stellar, but that's the highest score we've given anything aside from last week's episode of the Orville that we gave a 10.
Yeah. Yeah, stay tuned. Next week's episode of the Orville was probably going to be
might be the highest score yet. Yeah.
Might be the highest score.
All right.
Oh, and if we need to take this opportunity to, if you've ever considered being a member with us, and if you do love the Orville, you're going to want to become members. And Brian's going to share the link with you in a sec, because we're going to be interviewing members of the cast, and we're going to be streaming those as live member streams so that you guys can get to see that. And we'll be airing them probably a little later, but if you want to be a member, see it live, get to ask questions, this is going to be a great opportunity to do it, besides getting some extra content, which it feels like we're doing so much more these days.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you honestly think Strange New Worlds is better than the Orville? No. We do not. We have first off, we have yet to actually come to a conclusion on Strange New Worlds, because it's the first season and it hasn't ended yet. So far, so far it's doing really well and we enjoy it. But if we're saying Strange New Worlds this episode, I would say by the score, Strange New Worlds episode this week was better than Orville's episode this week, score-wise.
I think it was. No, I think it was. I think I think what made Strange New Worlds better this week than the Orville was, the Orville had a few issues running into the end with the creatures, but Strange New Worlds had that wonderful, to serve man cookbook moment where they flip it on us and we realize they're sucking the life out of kids.
Right.
And it's like, it looks like they're exalting them, and then all of a sudden they're actually killing them. And it was not something we saw coming.
Right.
And it was a nice flip. And I think that's why the episode was probably better.
And so here's the ready. So we got 6.5 for Strange New Worlds, 4.5 for the Orville, and 8.5 for Kenobi.
Minus 8.5.
Minus 8.5 for Kenobi.
That tells you where things are.
Yeah. So so stick around. We'll be back next week for that, and we're gonna wrap up this review. Let us know in the comment section what you guys thought of this week's episode of the Orville, and please come back next week, because next week's episode review is going to be amazing. We actually got to see that episode fairly early, and we are still simping hard for it. Such a good episode. All right, moving on. What's next, Shane?
Well, it's time to say goodbye to these wonderful live show folks that came to watch us and move on to the member section. Is there anything else we want to add?
I hate to say goodbye to all you wonderful folks.
Can I say something about South Park really quick while we're here?
Yeah.
I just reminded me of South Park.
Go ahead.
I watched the Streaming Wars if you guys haven't seen that South Park episode, it's pretty darn entertaining.
Yeah.
You think it's going to be about streaming, and it ends up being about water, and then also streaming. It was just very clever.
So clever.
Really. Randy being a Karen, I love it. Just wonderful.
Yeah, I don't think people fully understand how smart South Park really is. Like, they take the most stupid fart jokes and ridiculous humor, and they wrap it into really intelligent humor that if you blink, you miss it. It's really well done, man. They have mastered the craft of South Park.
And on top of it, Cartman gets a boob job.
Yes.
So that was great.
Best ever. And he was trying to play it off like it was a no big deal. Guys, you don't get don't worry about this. Like, you have
my mom didn't listen to me.
And when Kenny feels it, so good. Okay. Come on over to
the member section.
Oh, wait, let me do that part. Hold up. I'm sorry.
To get all that wonderful future Orville interviews and extra content and all the great stuff we do there.
Yes, my friends, we are going to the members section now. And in the members, there's a lot of people in there. We got to definitely address. I didn't even know you guys were in there. I got to get better at that. But I'm going to go ahead and put the link in the chat. And it's also in the description. And you can also get it on screen, popcast.co/join. Please come and join us. The water is warm. We are going to be talking about Strange New Worlds, introduction of a non-binary character, Marina Sirtis, a.k.a. Deanna Troi, a.k.a. My first crush at 12 years old, is said that the TNG cast was essentially treated a lot better for Picard Season 3 than they were in the movie Nemesis. And J.J. Abrams and Bad Robot have lost their jobs.
Yeah,
So,
just for John Burns over here really quick. Hey, John, I don't see a super chat from you for $2, but don't sweat it. Just ask us, let us know what the comment or question is, and we'll read it off real quick.
all right. I love you guys. And we'll see you in the members section. And we're going to go ahead and just drop that screen for a while. And eventually the audio will go too. All right, members, what's happening, boys?
And girls.
And
Boys
girls.
You know.
We got Chris, John, Dork Knight, Archmage, and Atheist for the Cause. And I think Ken was in here earlier.
Yeah, Ken's probably working. We've been catching him at work a lot of that.
He's been a long time without you, my friend.
How you guys doing? So, and John, I think John, here it is. John, here's your $2. Thank you for the super chat, John. You're so awesome. We really appreciate super chats, guys, because it doesn't happen that frequently. And so when you do it, it like makes us feel all warm and fuzzy. Yeah. And what John says is, hey, you. Did I say that right? With a little chicken emoji.
Hey, let me do it in the tone that I think John actually was trying to, convey.
Okay.
Hey, you.
Oh, it was creepy like that. Is that what you're saying?
What's up?
See, I thought it was like, hey, you.
Hey, you.
Which one is it, John? Is it, hey, you? Or is it, hey, you?
Wait. So is it more like Admiral Christie or Captain Ed?
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Okay.
Yes, and Salty Trekker is right. The water is warm because Shane peed in it.
Sorry, I couldn't hold it. It's a long stream.
He does it every week, guys. All right. So what do you want to get into before we can go to the newsroom, man?
We got any good comments over here? Let's see. Yeah, you guys are commenting. Chris Retzlaff over here, great comments. Dork Knight over here commenting some really good stuff. You guys were talking. So we're going to do better. Brian is like the member section guy because my computer will literally blow up if I have too many up here.
His computer will get up, put its mouse down, flip Shane off, and walk out the door.
I'm gone. Hiroshi loves you. I love the serious side. I know that talking about the Orville, and I do enjoy the serious Orville as well. And then some great comments in here from John Burns.
Ryan George did a pitch meeting for the Orville. Oh no! Link it to me. We gotta watch that. We got to watch that.
Lots
that in the chat.
more.
Oh, Dork Knight, what's up, bro? Dork Knight is actually making a really cool design for our video this Sunday or Saturday.
Oh yeah, huge shout out. When you guys see that video that comes out, we're in the member section, right? Oh wait, are we still over the other side?
Oh, let me stop that. Hold on.
Yeah, because we're about to say something only members can hear.
All right, so if you
want to be a member, come on over.
If you're listening on PCU, come on over. We got to talk about stuff that is not we can't talk about here. Bye bye.